I hear the call to defend our nation. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the dreams of those who have died and the hope from which we survive. I see the promise we have prayed for. I see a man with the will and the passion to serve and to lead.
President of the Republic of Nigeria, honorable ministers here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this interactive session with the media. We'll take questions, but first I'd like to invite His Excellency to make a few remarks. Your Excellency.
Thank you. The Excellencies, the governors are here with me, the Governor of Anambra State, the Governor of Adamawa State, members of National Assembly, and honorable ministers, my civic friends, and media world, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me first and foremost thank all of you for finding time to meet with me this afternoon for this brief media interaction. Because I'm here for a state visit. You'll recall that the Chancellor visited Nigeria last year, and I have to come also as a follow-up so that some of the issues we'll be discussing will continue with the process of discussion. Because the relations between our two countries is historical. Some of the German companies have been operating in Nigeria for about 50 years. And we are still expecting more companies from Germany to invest in Nigeria. We have good relationships. We have been building new ones. And we signed today by National Commission so that the two countries have teams that will meet either maybe 2 times a year or at least once a year to review areas, because when two countries are related, in some cases they have gray areas. Some could be immigration issues, visa issues, trade balancing and so on. So that is the purpose of the Binational Commission. But the relationship have been quite fruitful. One of the greatest challenges we have in Nigeria today is the power sector. In terms of energy generally, of course, our main export is the oil and gas. But in terms of power, we are generating less than our demand, and that is not encouraging small and medium-scale enterprises that normally create jobs for people. And one of the relationships that we have with Germany is what we call the energy partnership, which is quite robust, quite strong, and we have been building on it. Only today, we signed an MOU with Siemens to start manufacturing small turbines in Nigeria, small to medium-sized turbines in Nigeria for use, or the West African sub-region, and even could even be exported to other parts of the world. So we're encouraging more of the German companies to come into Nigeria and invest, because the population is quite big. I always say it's about 20% of general goods that move from Europe and America to Africa. 20% ends up in Nigeria, or even a little more. Some could be imported through other countries, but the final destination is Nigeria. So it's a country that we have in markets. And we believe that the German investors will have a very good environment to invest. So these media interactions will help us highlight some of these issues that you know as media practitioners. I don't want to give a lengthy speech because you have to raise the issues. I'm here with the governors that mentioned. They will help me to explain certain things if need be, because the key thing is Nigeria, not Goodluck Jonathan. We have the governor of Anambra State, and they are picture of it. We have the governor of Adamawa State. We have their Senate leader. We have the member of the House of Representatives. We have the ministers, Interior Minister is there. The Power Minister, the man that's supposed not to sleep because until Nigeria, until we can generate power that will meet our needs. Of course, the Petroleum Minister is there. And the Foreign Minister, I think, is not here. But and we also support the Environment Minister is also with us, and Water Resources, but they are presently not here, but they are involved in some other engagements. So I thank you for this afternoon, and let me leave the floor for you to raise the issues that you would love to raise.
Please identify yourself and then go straight to your question. The lady in the front row.
I'm Dagmar Demer from the Berlin-based daily newspaper Der Tagesspiegel. German companies, in fact, are very sensitive to security issues, and since Boko Haram seems to bomb every week, German companies are very reluctant to go to Nigeria right now. So my question is, what is your strategy with Boko Haram, and do you now start knowing who Boko Haram really is?
We'll take two more questions. Take our questions here, Shehu.
My name is Usman Shehu from Deutsche Welle, Africa Service. Mr. President, one of the serious problems in Nigeria is a lot of people have been arrested for so many offenses, but the law, after the arrest, you will never hear anything of that. According to a lot of research, most of these crises are continuing because people who are the culprits are not yet brought to book. What effort is His Excellency doing to change this situation?
Okay, we'll take one more. Yes, the gentleman from the German news agency.
Thank you very much. I'm from the German press agency DPA, and my name is Jean-Baptiste Piguin. My question is about oil prices. We'd like to ask you, what effect would a fall in oil prices have on Nigeria, and would that cause budget difficulties, and might that mean that you would have to return to perhaps taking out fuel subsidies or reducing fuel subsidies internally?
Thank you. That will be the first round.
Okay, thank you. I would love to start from the last, but let me go first. So, because the first was raised by ladies, and I'm extremely gender friendly. So, I told Madam Chancellor today that in my cabinet, the ladies occupy the most powerful ministries. So you did ask about Boko Haram. You did mention that German companies are quite sensitive in terms of security issues, and what are we doing to contain that? Of course, not only German companies, everybody, even the soldiers are signed to die, don't want to die. So nobody will want to be working anywhere and somebody blow it off using explosives, whether it is improvised by them or procured from the deadly companies that produce deadly materials to kill people. The issue of Boko Haram, yes, it's a security issue, no doubt about that. We have it, no doubt about that. But what I normally say and emphasize is that government is working very hard, and we're almost getting over it. Nigeria never had this experience of terrorism. We had security challenges, petty crime, murder cases, yes, have been happening, armed robbery, banditry, occasionally robbing banks, willing people on the road. These are the kind of problems we've been battling with. But the issue of suicide bombing, where somebody will now come and decide to load a car with explosive to crash into a building and die in that process with the intent of killing people to make an impact. It was not an act of force. And now the terrorists operate differently. And for you to confront terrorists, you must have a different security architecture, which we never had because it was not our own problem. If you have only daughters, you don't have no business buying men dresses in your house until you have a baby boy. They begin to look at that direction. So with this Boko Haram issue, over the period, we moved very fast. And if you consult the people who are in security globally, those who look around the whole globe, they will tell you that the rate we move, most other countries have not moved that fast. Because if we don't move that fast, because of the changing world, before technology was not there, use of cell phones to create problems. It was not there before. Now somebody can easily create an explosion somewhere and ignite it from a distance by sending a text message. It was not there before. So we had to move fast, and we are moving very fast. Though, yes, stories of explosions are still, but even if you observe in the country, initially they tend to spread out to most other states. But because we have clamped down, so we have narrowed it down to almost the dens, where most of these explosives you've had recently happening in either Borno State or maybe Barsi State, Yobe, somehow. Initially, they attempt to even spread to other parts. So, with what we have done so far, we have actually gone very far. We are also increasing our relationship and our dialogue with other stakeholders, traditional rulers, community leaders, youth leaders, religious leaders, because the Boko Harams are Nigerians that have their wives, they have their parents, they have their siblings, they have their friends, and they live within the community. So we're also strengthening that linkages through the level of human interaction. So what I can tell you, you cannot wake up and say tomorrow I'll wipe out criminality in Nigeria. No president can say that, especially in developing countries, especially considering the problems we have in North Africa and the free small arms and light weapons moving freely within the area. So we'll always have the challenge, but to get to a point where nobody will begin to talk about insecurity. But we know that German companies are still operating in Nigeria. They have not packed out of Nigeria. Nigeria is still safer than quite a number of countries. I know there are some countries where very rich people, like some of the people we have in Nigeria, don't even drive vehicles. They use helicopters to move. But the people are still investing. In Nigeria, very rich people drive themselves. But when you just read from the media, you would think that the whole country is coming down. The whole country is not coming down. But even the issue of Boko Haram, we'll get to it. Then my friend, the second person, talks about people being arrested in Nigeria and nothing appears to happen. Maybe did not be brought to book. People have been arrested for various offenses. You didn't specify why the people were arrested. But like most other countries, people are arrested for various offenses. People appear in court for various offenses. I think the area people worry is that the law, our own, I don't know the German law, but the English law, it makes a criminal, the probability of convicting a criminal is 9/10. Because the law says that it's better for 9 people to be set free than for one innocent criminal. For one innocent man to be punished, it's better for 9 criminals to be set free. That is the law we operate. And that is why you have to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. And in most cases, when people commit crime, even if you go to ordinary crimes that, let us say, raping of a lady, if a young man rapes a lady in the private, based on that law, it's so difficult for you because the doctor will have to examine, the doctor will examine. But assuming that raping happened 24 hours before the lady gets to the medical doctor to check, the evidence will have gone. So you will see that somebody will commit a crime.
I believe Nigeria has a chance to rise again and take its place of pride and glory. I believe